Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to another Tuesday morning Mortgage Coach coaching call. Every Tuesday morning, our number one goal is to deliver the mortgage industry's absolute best sales meeting every single week. My name is Dave Savage. I'm the CEO of Mortgage Coach. I urge you to connect with me personally on both LinkedIn and Facebook, and make sure you're following us and you're engaging with us on the Mortgage Coach Facebook page. Today, I have an awesome call. I'm really excited to have Tom Ferry, an iconic leader to Realtors. Tom, welcome to the call.
Hey, thank you so much, Dave, and hello to the whole community.
All right, now I'm going to bring you in just a couple minutes. Want to do some housekeeping and just set the table for the call a bit.
Cool.
Cool. So first of all, I want to remind everybody we're recording this call. It'll be posted on our YouTube page within hours. Jacob, our head of tech, reminded me to remind you guys of this. You can watch these videos on your mobile device. And you can listen to them on your mobile device. So if you don't already subscribe to our YouTube page, make sure you do that. From just Facebook, we had a big week on Facebook. One of our hosts, Phil Black, who was on the coaching call 2 times with me last year, I think 2 or 3 weeks from now, he's going to be a guest also. He was on the Shark Tank last week. So kudos to Phil. He's a former Navy SEAL, an amazing leader, and you guys have got to read his blog post on what he learned from being on the Shark Tank. By the way, Tom, do you watch the Shark Tank at all?
It's one of the rare shows that I DVR, and I just watched that episode.
Oh, so what did you think of Phil?
I thought he was fantastic. I agreed, though, with all the sharks. He is way too talented, needs a bigger idea.
Yeah, first of all, not going to debate. He needs a bigger idea, but they filtered it, and a lot of his framing and some of the real unique things that Phil's doing with Nike and with mobile got left out. So I don't know, one, whether he wasn't able to put it as part of his pitch, or 2, they just edited it. But anyways, he's a good friend of Mortgage Coach and a good personal friend of mine.
Yeah, I'd love to get to know him.
Yeah, no problem. And also, we had Darren Hardy a couple weeks ago as our guest, and I just thought this blog post that Darren posted yesterday was such a good tie-in and kind of a kickoff to the conversation with Tom. We're going to be talking about how to engage and connect with realtors, how to deliver more value, and while Tom and I are going to spend an hour talking about that today, I think it really comes down to this blog post from Darren yesterday. If you can just really listen to people, find out what their goals, hopes, pains, and problems are, and you can make the shift from selling to helping, that's 80% of the job. I don't know, Tom, you just saw this blog post probably for the first time, but is that so much of what loan officers need to hear and see to actually execute?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, Darren's a pal, and that's a great, I'll be borrowing that quote myself.
Right on. So again, anybody who's on this call and you didn't hear that call with Darren from a few weeks back, that is in our YouTube channel. Make sure you check it out. So today it's all about video and mobile in realtors. Now again, we are gonna discuss how to add value to realtors in a more broad perspective. But Tom is such an iconic leader to realtors. Realtors are so much further ahead than the mortgage industry from a mobile and video perspective. I just thought, Tom, it would be great if we really centered the conversation around this. But I also don't want to center it so much that if you want to provide, broader perspective and advice, bring it. But this will be the centerpiece. So most of you on this call, you're already Mortgage Coach members. You've watched our video around the Edge commercial. But I really want to connect it to this conversation because it is so important that you're bringing leadership. How can mortgage strategies and how can mortgage stories where you've helped out home buyers buy homes, how can you bring that to a realtor? And so part of it is telling great stories and having great stories. And part of the beauty of our mobile app is that you're able to show and tell. You can not only tell the story, but you can show the story with the mobile app. So this is an example of a realtor who can not only understand the advice of the mortgage professional, but for all you loan officers, this is one of the key moves. And again, I'm teaching this from week to week. I wanted to center the Mortgage Coach teaching around this mobile strategy, and that is every time you send a home buyer a mortgage strategy or simple mortgage options, make sure you loop in the realtor. Make sure you CC them on the report. Make sure that you train them that, hey, all you got to do is click on this link from your mobile device and you'll know exactly what I told the home buyer. Again, from a realtor's perspective, this saves them time. They don't have to play phone tag to find out what did you tell them, what can they do. They can see it. And it's providing a differentiation. You're differentiating yourself with video on mobile. Realtors love this, and it's important that as mortgage professionals, you're driving that awesome experience with each and every client. And it's important that you're looping in the realtor, you're showing and telling with the app, and you're using that with all of your conversations. So I'm going to bring Tom in. I just wanted to set the table with one survey question. Want to find out, are you leveraging video and mobile with realtors right now? So everybody answer this question. You know how I roll. I want 70% of you to vote so that I've got something statistically valid here. So Tom, any guesses? We're talking to mortgage professionals. What percentage are going to say yes to this question? Any gut guesses on your end?
I'm going to lean towards recognizing my own customer base of agents. I'm going to say 2/3 no, 1/3 yes.
And by the way, would you say that is, from a realtor's perspective, that's the same answer?
It's absolutely the same answer.
Okay, well, I think, again, I need a few more votes to get it over 70%, but I think you're going to be pretty darn right. So I think we need to spend a little bit of time of sharing why you should, because here we go. It's basically 1/3, 2/3, you know. 36% said yes, 64% said no. It sounds like, you know, we need to get them modernized and leveraging today's technology in a way that's useful and valuable. Make sense?
Yeah, I was actually thinking everybody should call me and we'll play some strategic bets for the Super Bowl based upon my guess.
By the way, I hope you're not going against the Denver Broncos for the Super Bowl.
I'm razzing you, buddy. San Francisco didn't win, so I'm out.
Okay, well, you know, go for the Broncos. 49ers are my second favorite team, so we both had a tough day after that game. Hey, so Tom, yes. Real quick, just most people on the call know you. Give us some sense of how many realtors you speak to annually, or your organization does, and how many realtors you're coaching and mentoring from year to year.
Sure. So, you know, listen, we're very blessed. I just celebrated last Tuesday my 10-year anniversary of this new company that I formed called Your Coach. So 10 years into it, we just got a very nice piece of recognition for, you know, the entire organization's hard work. We were named the #1 most influential training and coaching company in all of real estate. And out of the top 200 power players in the industry, we were named number 90 and the only coach and trainer company in the top 100. So, you know, my team's super pumped about that. We're excited about, you know, both, you know, what we've done the last decade and the next decade to come. So this year we'll do 1,075 trainings as an organization. Those are face-to-face training, not including our mobile training or through our learning management system. But, you know, nearly 1,100 times, one of myself and my 6 other presenters will be in a room and working with real estate professionals and helping them really focus on, you know, 2 or 3 things. Increasing their transactions from, you know, whether it's adding 6 or 18 or 36 transactions a year, working on the #1 killer of the real estate industry today. And if you're looking for a little nugget, if you're looking for a true value add for, you know, every agent you're working with, the biggest thing that stops them through all of our surveys, and I mean tens of thousands of agents that we're asking, the #1 biggest problem they have today is organization. Organization, the ability to, you know, write a plan, project management, get things done, have things be consistent. So, you know, throughout our events, we'll touch, Dave, 59,750 agents face-to-face. That's a major focus for us, helping them become organized, helping them become more efficient, so they can list and sell more property and so they can have an extraordinary life. We've got a YouTube channel, you know, it's youtube.com/real estate training TF. If you check that out, there's a tremendous amount of free resources we make available for people. You know, our Facebook page, Coach Tom Ferry, gets a lot of traffic. Dave put a post up there. So listen, I had dinner with my mom last night. My mom said, "Don't be a bragger," so I'm going to shut up. So we're doing good. We're doing good, and we're happy to help.
Well, I think you bring a lot of wisdom, a lot of perspective as to what are the pain points, what are the opportunities, so that loan officers can do exactly what we talked about. You know, find out what the goals, what the pain is, what the dreams are, and then align around how they can help realtors achieve that. So we posted your call in our YouTube page, and I had Dan Keller. He was a speaker at Sales Mastery. He's been on a couple coaching calls lately. He posted some questions that I think set the table and at least get us off to the races around video and mobile. And then again, Tom, you already added some great insight around how we can help realtors. Let's keep it narrow, and let's also go broad. But let's start with some of Dan's questions. I also want to let folks know that when I'm not asking questions and contributing, I am going to look at the questions that you post and go to meeting. And we are also going to have an opportunity to raise some hands, unmute some people, and bring you into this conversation. So if you want to come into the conversation, ask Tom some questions, add some value, raise your hand, jump into this call, and please post your questions, and Tom Ferry is going to deliver a lot of value. So Tom, let's start with what are some of the video tech tools and strategies realtors are using today? What are they doing?
Okay, so I want to make a statement first that if everybody's going to take some notes, write this down. 2/3 tried and true. 2/3 tried and true. 1/3 tech and push the envelope. That really summarizes the sort of broad value proposition we make to all of our clients around the world. 2/3 of your business, tried and true. Now, if I'm saying that to a 27-year-old in Vienna, Austria, 2/3 tried and true to him means Snapchat, Instagram, Nudge, Facebook, and they probably don't even have a website. But if I'm saying that to the gal I just spoke to this morning, who's one of the top agents in Santa Monica, California, been selling real estate for 31 years, she just turned 60, 2/3 tried and true for her is open houses, geographic farming, working her past clients in centers of influence. She has a website that nobody goes to, and she just signed up for our most expensive coaching program because she wants to know, what do I have to do to get in front of people to make a connection? So I would just ask the listeners to, first of all, just identify with, where's your business? Is it about doing more of what already works, 2/3 tried and true, 1/3 tech, push the envelope, or are you 27 and all you know is the mobile world? So just get press into that. Now, Dave, I'm going to say this to you. The game hasn't changed. I launched my first website in 1996. The game is exactly the same then as it is now. The only difference is the tools have changed. So the game for everyone that's listening, whether you're working with an agent or you're thinking about your own lead generation, it's about eyeballs, conversion, speed to lead, track and measure. That's it. That's the whole game. So the first thing is to fish where the fish are, right? So when we talk about, what video, what tech tools, what strategies are top realtors using, I'm going to give you some hard data and some hard number into some of the different sites that are producing the most results, but then be very honest with you, very straight with you on the conversion that an agent experiences versus what all of you should be experiencing because somebody could refinance or do a purchase loan or a HELOC or whatever it may be that you guys can do that it's more than an agent can do. So it's about eyeballs, it's about conversion, right, and being very mindful of what percentage you're converting of all the leads that are coming in. It's about speed to lead. It's the 5-minute rule or less today. So the agents that are dominating online in the mobile space have things like ISAs, which is an internet sales agent, right, working full-time at their office 24 hours a day. Maybe it's a virtual assistant, somebody in the Philippines, but every lead that comes in, they're responding in under 5 minutes. And when I give you some of the mobile stats, which Dave, maybe you know or you don't know, but when you start looking at, for example, Zillow had 5 billion minutes on their suite of real estate apps last year, right? That averages to 16 minutes per person in the entire U.S. and equals, roughly 9,505 years of time spent on their apps just last year alone. It's staggering. So fish where the fish are, right? you got to convert, you got to follow up fast, and you got to track and measure what you're doing. Now, in terms of tools, I'll give you some stuff that maybe some of you haven't been thinking about. The things that are outside of the box today that not everybody is using, but those that are using are finding great success with as a degree of separation. Solutions like Nudge, N-U-D-G-E, made by the guys at 1000 Watt. If you don't know the guys at 1000 Watt, they are some of the most game-changing innovators in the real estate space. Brilliant, powerful, sophisticated, coming out with very sexy tools. Nudge is connected with Instagram. It's a photo sharing site, but it's built specifically for real estate agents to whether they're filming houses or taking photos of houses or in their communities, and it's got a little CRM component, so it's able to feed that into whether it's contactually or Outlook or whatever else they're using. It's beautiful. Instagram, smoking hot right now for real estate. Smoking hot. Video specifically for Instagram, 15-second long-form video compared to 7-second videos. That's really hot right now. And the one that a lot of my clients are really having some fun with is Snapchat, right? Snapchat, we've got clients that are just texting me like, oh my God, man, I just sold a house because this thing hit the MLS. I was there on Caravan. I did a quick video of it, photo. I sent it to my client and said, you're the only person that's going to see this today. And boom, because if you know Snapchat, it's like one and done. It's super hot. Now, I got a bunch of these I can go into, but maybe that's just kind of the beginning of that first question. So Dave, I'm ranting. What else? Dave, you there?
Hey, Tom, sorry about that. I had it on mute, didn't realize it. So conversion is something that is critical to loan officers, obviously critical to realtors. I know the conversion rate in the mortgage industry. What is the conversion rate in the real estate for home buyers? So a realtor meets a home buyer. What are the odds that they're going to find them the home and the buyer is going to buy that home from a realtor? What's the conversion?
So can we source that? Can we say past client, sphere of influence, open house versus online?
Go for it. Give us the spectrum.
Okay. So the traditional tried and true, it's about 1 out of 7, right? 1 out of 7 buyers that they meet ultimately end up buying a house from them. Where when you go online, and I'm going to give you 2 considerations online, right? Agents don't drive traffic. Smart agents fish where the fish are. The two things that every agent has to look at is ZRT, which is Zillow, Realtor, and Trulia, where they're openly buying advertising on a page with a lot of traffic. And I have some specific insights on each one of those companies. And then there's the bigger opportunity, which is called sites like Boomtown ROI. So Boom, B-O-O-M, town like city, ROI like what we all want, return on investment. Boomtown ROI. So with Zillow right now, it's about 5 out of 100 buy a house from you, right? 5 out of 100. And that's kind of the gold standard today in online lead generation, where when you go to a site like Boomtown, the average Boomtown agent user, and almost in every case has a lender partner associated with it, they're averaging anywhere between 2.2 to 3.5%, dependent upon speed to lead and follow-up. Primarily, Dave, because those leads are generated through Google search, through pay-per-click advertising, and through Craigslist. So a little lesser quality lead versus someone that's going to Zillow, Realtor, or Trulia because they're searching out that information.
Got it. So 2% on the, call it the most difficult to convert internet leads, 5% on the quality, and on up to, probably 20% is a really high conversion buyer lead to actual sale. Is that fair enough?
Bingo. Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely, yes.
So mortgage professionals, that's pain. I mean, there is pain for you. So if you, in your sales process, can show in a convincing and obvious way that you refer a home buyer to me as early as possible, and I am going to improve your conversion rate because I can create urgency around why buy now, because I can do a really quality, simple video on mobile first-time home buyer analysis. That creates urgency, that creates conversion, and that solves the pain of a realtor. So Tom, I mean, do you support, those are some of the ways loan officers should be bringing value to realtors? You know, does that make sense to you, and anything you want to add to that?
So the answer is absolutely yes. I mean, every agent, I started this out by saying every agent's biggest challenge is organization. And, you know, if I was a loan officer today, and we're very blessed, we work with a lot of loan officers, almost every case they're already partnered with, you know, one of our top clients, an agent client. I tell them, look, you know, every lead that comes in, that lead is the boss, and your job is to serve the boss and take care of that client. And when we get agents and loan officers together to start loving their leads, not saying, oh, this person wants to buy in a lower end area, or, you know, oh, this person, you know, is that a real name? But every lead, every prospect gets the care, the connection, the best of what your company has to offer, both the loan officer and the agent. That's where you have a winning formula. You know, in a perfect world, every lead that comes in, Dave, the loan officer should be reaching out and the agent should be reaching out. That client should get hit both ways, saying, you know, hi, my name is Tom, and, you know, I'm with XYZ Mortgage Company, and I'm affiliated with Dave. Dave's one of the best agents in town. And has Dave reached out? Oh, okay. Oh, wow, I finally beat him for once. So, look, we just want to make sure that the home search process is going well for you, and, you know, blah, 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 blah. You know, if everybody's committed to serving the client and recognizing that that's the end game, then every one of these loan officers is going to crush it online. Now, partnering with the right agent, that's super important. You know, creating the right infrastructure and system, really important, you know, to not overstep on every client or overstep on every lead. But, you know, again, Dave, I know you deal with the very best. I know they have that stuff wired.
Yeah, well, I mean, yes and no. I mean, we pull folks, still not everybody is delivering every home buyer their best sales experience. You know, there's still that issue of, I'm going to give you enough value and advice to win the deal, and instead of winning the wow. So what I took from what Tom just said is, if you can, in a convincing way, show a realtor that, hey, working with me, every time you refer someone to me, I'm going to increase the odds of conversion because I am creating urgency, I'm putting video on mobile, I'm delivering a great mortgage experience, and I'm going to actually save you time and be more organized, because now you don't have to play phone tag with me. You can actually save phone conversations because you can just click on what I deliver to the client on your mobile device. So you're not only improving conversion, you're improving efficiency. Is that a good idea, Tom?
Absolutely. Hey, I'd be really curious, and I don't, you know, could we poll how many of the loan officers have been a part of a loop in a transaction yet with the company .loop?
So, Jacob, if you could throw that poll up, I will keep an eye on it. And repeat that one more time, Tom, so Jacob can catch that.
So the company is called .loop, D-O-T-L-O-O-P, and they got the Inman Award last year for the most innovative new real estate strategy, new real estate platform that, think of like Dropbox, you know, solutions like that, Evernote as an example. But what .loop does is they put the consumer in the middle of a loop, and then all of the service providers are connected to the transaction in the loop. So, you know, everybody's communicating on one centralized platform. This guy is basically, he's a good friend of mine, becoming a great friend. Austin Allison is his name, just on the cover of, you know, Inc. magazine a few months ago, 27 years old. And basically, here's what he said: the real estate industry is broken. There's too much of a disconnect between communication between lender, title rep, agent, buyer, seller, and everybody else, and he solved the problem. So I'd just be super curious, because that I bet less than 10% of the loan officers on the line are even a part of this or even aware of it. And man, what a groundbreaking, easy, already proven way to get more business and to serve the customer at a higher level and to bring your agent a new level of organization to really everybody wins in this. So I'd be real curious. What percentage of them have been a part of a loop, which is a real estate transaction on .loop? They have little partnerships with companies like Keller Williams, with Coldwell Banker, with Remax. Just about every major brand you can think of is on board with this because everybody sees the paperless transaction. And, you know, your industry, the real estate industry, everybody is taking a real close look at .loop, and it'd be fun if some of you were some of the first.
All right, so great suggestion. By the way, if you have experience with that, put it in the questions part. I am going to try to get a survey up at some point, but also if you do have experience, say, yes, I have experience, share some perspective on that. So I want to do some, you know, stay laser focused on this whole, how can we help improve conversion around home buyers? Again, we talked about one way, and I opened the call with one of those. Tom, what do you think the number one home buyer objection is to putting in a quality offer? You know, I think of, if we have some wisdom from your perspective, what are some of those big objections?
Look, at the end of the day, that hasn't changed, David, as long as I've been in the industry for 25 years. Am I overpaying? Are my terms right? Am I making an emotional decision? Am I making the right decision? So, you know, when it comes to presenting that initial offer or writing that initial offer, it's how much trust has the agent instilled in them, you know, to write an effective offer. I mean, look, here's the reality. There's 1 million licensed agents, right? There's 1 million licensed real estate agents. NAR says the average agent earned $38,000, which means they sold 4 houses, right? Those people are never going to write good offers. It's an interesting number. Ready? Only 4% of the agents in the U.S. grossed more than $250,000 in GCI last year. Were you aware of that, Dave?
I didn't know the exact numbers, but yeah, that's,
yeah,
I know that.
Yeah, and 0.01% made more than $1 million. So, you know, it's hard, right? It's hard. What I would say is, for all the loan officers, you know, how much time are they spending, or are they spending time with the agent in advance with their buyer on how to craft the ideal offer, right? Are they getting involved on that level, or is it just, hey, we wrote an offer and, you know, will you talk to my client and see what we can do? To me, I think there's just such a big partnership play, and I know it requires more effort, and I know it requires time that no one on the line says they have, but I would challenge you on that. You know, agents are writing bad offers every single day. The failure rate is ginormous. I don't think collectively, you know, 1,000 of us on the line can solve that problem, other than spend more time hand-holding, spend more time helping.
So, well, I mean, I guess I'll throw something in. So when I think of the realtor's job, their job is to, you know, find the lifestyle, find and deliver a home that emotionally connects. And then the logic part is, am I overpaying? And that's a big lift. But part of the other piece of the logic, if it's a first-time home buyer, what are, you know, clear and obvious logical facts around the value of owning a home versus renting? So a really quality rent versus own that logically and emotionally connects, that's valuable. If you've got a fence-sitting buyer who's like, well, you know, I don't know if now's the time. Well, what do you think rates are going to be 6 months from now? What do you think values are going to be 6 months from now? And now, mortgage professional, your job is to create a logical story around that. And again, Mortgage Coach helps you do that. It helps you say, hey, based on today, here's the rate, here's the house. 6 months from now, let's take a guess on the rate. Let's take a guess on appreciation rates. Hey, home buyer, what do you want to do? So, you know, a why buy now analysis. So those, to me, I could go on with strategies, but I think, you know, you're hearing from Tom, this is what realtors want. It does take more time. It takes a commitment to quality, but you guys, we can do that, and it's a valuable thing for us to do.
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking video, Dave, I would say to you, and I know you guys do this, so I'm going to just reiterate, hopefully, the blinding flash of the obvious. I started my own video show about 7 years ago. I had a great conversation with a guy named David On, who at the time, when I was playing golf with him, I'm like, what do you do? He's like, I work for Google. I'm like, well, that's a big company. What do you do there? He said, I'm in charge of media and content for Google. I was like, wow, that's a big job. He said, yeah. And I said, here's what I do. And I said, I'm blogging. And he's like, great. You know, we love blogging. What kind of blogging do you do? I said, I do audio podcasts. So Dave, get this. I'm on like the second hole at Shady Canyon in Irvine, and I'm having this great conversation with this guy, totally excited that I'm playing golf with him, totally excited to share that I do audio podcast blogging, and basically the head of Google looks at me and says, audio podcasting is absolutely archaic and stupid. I had spent, 6 months doing this, building my list, and he said, it's archaic and stupid. I said, what do you recommend? He said, we bought a little company called YouTube. You should start doing videos. Videos are going to absolutely change the landscape of how everybody markets. And I would say, and you know this, he was dead on and he was right, and that was 7 years ago. So I would say to everybody, when it comes to the first-time buyer or the move-up buyer or the move-down buyer or the why buy now, my advice would be every loan officer should partner with 3 to 5 agents, 10 agents, in a weekly or monthly co-hosted video show. Co-hosted video show. So the loan officer is the host, and they're bringing in the co-host, this rock star agent who's afraid to do it, doesn't know how to do it, would never set up the green screen, would never get it organized because they're too busy. But the loan officer that does it will not only provide them so much credibility, but you're also going to be all over their website, all over their social presence, all over all of their marketing, making them look like a star, which implies that you already are a star. So Dave, are you asking them to do that kind of stuff? Because I'd be thinking first-time buyer video is now a good time to invest, and what should I be asking my loan officer, myself, my CPA, move-up buyer, move-down buyer, out of town, out of city, out of the country buyer, all that stuff. And the smart loan officer for $149 buys a green screen, gets 10 agents, crafts a show, hires a virtual assistant from my outdesk who does all the video editing and then posts everything to all of the sites on your behalf for those agents. That's a game changer.
Yeah, no doubt. We are incredibly passionate about the importance of videos, and the videos you just laid out. It's not like it's a good idea. It's a proven game-changing idea to be able to create great videos. And then part of our arsenal that every mortgage coach loan officer should have is they should have a first-time home buyer, a move up, why buy now, whatever the strategies in their market that are most relevant. Yeah. If it's an FHA market, hey, FHA versus conventional. And what we teach is just story selling. Have stories of where you've helped a home buyer and a realtor, get into a home. From a home buyer's perspective, you helped the home buyer. From a realtor's perspective, you sold a home with a mortgage strategy that's relevant to your market, and you have a video in our Edge platform so that they can just watch that on their mobile device, and when you're meeting with them, you're talking about it. So in addition to everything you just said, we also just recommend that they have those mortgage strategies within the Edge platform in addition to that. That's what we teach, and that's what we share.
Hey Dave, do you recommend? I'm looking at a number here. I called my pal who is the chief revenue officer of Zillow last night and said, I'm doing this call for Dave Savage and Mortgage Coach. I said, how many loan requests were processed through Zillow last year, just on the mobile side? So this is not people going to their desktop, just on the mobile side. You want to take a stab at the number? How many loan requests were processed through Zillow's mobile app?
I have zero idea, but it's going to be a massive number.
Yeah, 4.7 million last year.
I was going to say over 1 million, and you just 4x'd it. So wow,
yeah,
that is stunning.
Yeah, so I would just challenge. Listen, whether it's Zillow, Realtor, Trulia, Boomtown, step one is get the leads. Step two is convert, and we're talking a lot about convert. But I don't want to miss for perhaps the person that's like, look, I don't even know where to go or where should I start. Their numbers are so much greater. And listen, I'm friends with all these guys. Pete Flynn is the CEO of Trulia. Errol, who is the sort of chief revenue officer equivalent at Realtor.com. It's just that those guys are the 800-pound gorilla. They just do so much more than everybody else. So 4.7 million loan requests, 4% conversion. What is that? 188,000 loans.
Huge, absolutely huge, stunning numbers. Hey, real quick, you mentioned earlier response time. I interview a lot of top producers, and I am always looking for what are their best practices, what are the standards within their organization. Do you have any perspective or feedback on what is an exceptional response time for a mortgage lead, and where does it really fall off and get to the point where you're really risking the deal? Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I wish I could send you the most recent online marketing slide that I received on this. It's basically the 5-minute rule. Like, if you're under 5 minutes, if you're like 2 minutes, they think you're Big Brother and you're kind of creepy. Right at 5 minutes, half the time the person is still in front of the house or they're still on the app, they're still looking, and you call, and that's the perfect strike time. Then all the studies show, for 30 minutes, they don't even know who you are. They've looked at 5 other houses. They've shopped on 2 different other sites looking for loans, and after an hour, they forgot they were even looking at real estate. So 5 minutes is the sort of documented sweet spot, and I think what every loan officer struggles with is the same thing that every agent struggles with, and that's why the hot trend in terms of team members to make this this more efficient is hiring that ISA, that internet sales agent, whose job is to follow up, meet, greet, qualify, connect, and close for appointments in that 5-minute sweet spot. So whether they, hire somebody that is just working, inside their office, or they hire somebody virtually, there's people in the Philippines that are doing this for agents and loan officers all over the U.S. today at, $800 a month. So, there's the problem, and then there's an easy solution. That's a big opportunity. And it's a big opportunity missed for most people. We're in an ADD society, right? You said Darren Hardy. I'm sure he talked about it. Everybody's checking their phone all the time, and they're looking for instant response. So if I've got to wait 15, 20, 30 minutes because you're writing up an app or dealing with somebody that just purchased a home and they're funding a loan, you're missing that opportunity. So how are you going to solve that? It's the same problem that the agent has. That's why the trend has gone towards that internet sales agent, that ISA, who's helping with that process.
Well, I think the way you answered that, a lot of the folks on this call are dealing with referral-based leads. So obviously, if it's an internet lead, 5 minutes is the sweet spot. But to me, regardless of what the source of that lead is, speed to response is critical. Every time I interview the best of the best mortgage professionals, they're not returning calls the next day. Whether they do it themselves or whether they have a team around it, speed matters. I hope that takeaway is clear, and if you want to be successful at helping realtors be more efficient and more effective, the more you can make it part of your value proposition. I'm going to improve your conversion rates because I'm going to keep my lending promises. I'm going to improve your conversion rate because of my sales process. I deliver every lead this exceptional level of service and speed. That's valuable. So I hope that's the takeaway for everybody on the call. So,
yeah,
so
and I would, hey Dave,
yeah,
I'd even challenge you that, listen, as a consumer, when I call and I want to refinance my house, or when I don't call an agent. Me personally, I don't call an agent when I'm thinking about buying an investment property. I call my loan officer first. My loan officer is the guy, right? He's the one I call and say, dude, I'm thinking about buying this place. I just saw this fourplex. What do you think? What are my financing options? Like, long before I call the agent. If Michael doesn't return my phone call quickly, I'm upset. You with me? I'm a busy guy. I don't have a lot of time. So I would challenge someone into thinking of, oh, if it's a past client or sphere or someone that knows you, that they don't deserve the same ADD society instant gratification right now. I'd say that person deserves it even more than the internet lead. Just saying, just my 2 cents.
I like your 2 cents, brother. Hey, so let's kind of bring it back into this, this conversation around mobile and video leadership. So, the Mortgage Coach Playbook, I agree. Let's have some great YouTube videos that showcase you and realtors together. Let's make sure that you have all the edge videos dialed in. Let's make sure every time you get a home buyer lead, you're creating a mortgage experience. When you send it to the home buyer, looping in the realtor. But what else? I want our community of mortgage professionals, I want them to be able to bring leadership to the realtors. I don't want them to be following them and saying, hey, what do you do? Oh, that's a great idea. Never heard of that. I want them to bring leadership. So what else, as it relates to mobile and video, can loan officers do to help realtors? What comes to mind when I ask you that, Tom?
So I have a couple different ideas. I would ask, first of all, were you aware that less than 1/3 of all real estate agents have a CRM, right? That's the first thing. So if I was, you know, I mean, listen, Dave, you know, I have the unfair advantage that, you know, like when I spoke at Sales Mastery, I was very transparent with everybody. Look, we're in the same business. Help real estate agents get better and your business and life gets better. So I oftentimes will find solutions that just solve the most basic fundamental problems that agents face, and it's groundbreaking, the results, right? So a third of the agents have CRMs, which means two-thirds don't. So consider that as you're, you know, dissecting or creating your model match of who your ideal agent is, you know, whether that's 5, 10, 15, or 100, whatever the number is. The first thing is to recognize that most of them don't have a CRM. And the simplest one for agents that I love is a site called Contactually. It's contact and then UALLY.
Love it.
Right?
Love it.
Okay, so the guys that created that showed it to me a year and a half ago. I'm a user. You with me? I immediately imported my 35,000 friends off Facebook, 25,000 followers on Twitter, plus all my, you know, my existing. And Dave, I've got my dream 50 clients in one bucket. I've got all my coaching clients in a bucket. I've got all my coaches in a bucket. And every time I see an agent get that one down, their business goes up. So I challenge this group, like, you know, those are real world skills and tools that cause every small business to fail. And if you could be the provider of that solution, if you could be the one that nudges them to say, let's do this. So that's one. Something that is been groundbreaking, and so successful for a lot of our clients, and especially like our Canadian clients. It's crazy just looking at their success, and that is Facebook advertising, right? Facebook advertising is a game changer for agents, both in generating buyers and free home evaluations for sellers. So I'm sure you've had a guest, or maybe you got a guest in the queue who could really go deep, because I could spend 3 hours on that conversation, do's and don'ts and what works. But you know, if you're bringing agents new, relevant, fresh ideas, then you're the solution. Then you're the bomb as a loan officer. I mean, you look, there's a lot of coaches in the space. There's a lot of lenders in the space. So agents have choices. We've got to do something that separates ourselves from the competition. So I'd look at those two. I'd also ask you to consider Zillow has 50,000 paid members. Trulia has somewhere around 20,000 paid members. And Realtor, I have not seen them release their numbers, so I guess they've got about 10,000 paid members. I'd be very mindful. Like I'd go on all three of those sites in your marketplace, and I would look to see which agents are already a paid advertiser, who's already in the hunt, and then what can you take from Mortgage Coach, what can you take from this, like, you know, micro blip conversation in the scope of all of your experience, and go to them and say, look, I see you on there. How's your conversion? How's your, you know, what are you doing? What if we work together? What if we did these videos together? I'd be a loan officer fishing where the agents are already fishing, trying to generate all that business. So just a couple, you know, random thoughts for you.
Yeah, well, it makes tons of sense. So again, my takeaways, hearing what Tom just said, first of all, it's important that you tailor. Before you come in and you try to provide leadership and teach something, per the Challenger sale, which by the way, Tom, have you read the Challenger sale or familiar with it?
No.
So by the way,
the name of the book?
Yeah, I mean, fantastic book. I'm not going to do a whole book pitch around it right now because I've done it multiple times in our calls. But the model is tailor, teach, and control the sale. That's what the best of the best loan officers, the best of the best realtors, the best salespeople in America, that's what they do. Tailor, teach, control. So it's important that before... Yeah, no problem. It's important that before you come in guns a-blazing, I'm a mobile video leader, ask some questions. You know, what's your attitude on mobile and how are you leveraging it or not leveraging it? What's your attitude? Ask the question, listen, learn, and now tailor the teaching. If they're like, I think it's stupid and it's a waste of my time, good to know. Change how you're going to have that conversation. You've got to find another way to bring value. So again, be careful, tailor, teach, control as you approach realtors with video and mobile leadership. So Tom, we've got about 10 minutes left in the call. I want to make sure that people know how to stay in touch with you. Also,
you cut out there,
folks. Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now? Tom, can you hear me?
Dave, I can hear you.
I'm going to call back in if you. Okay, so it's Tom. Okay.
I can, yes.
Okay, good. So Tom's having a challenge. Tom will be back in here in a minute. I do want to make sure if you want to get more information on Tom Ferry, he's got an amazing website. He's got some amazing programs. Tom, if you come back in and you can hear me, share what you have here. I also want everybody to know, if you want to know where one of Tom's events are at in your local marketplace, just go to his website. He has a really cool just update on every event. Remember, this guy's doing 1,000 events a year. Again, connecting with a lot of the most progressive, the most innovative real estate agents. It's just a great community for you to play in. Also, I want to make sure that you're aware of his blog. So if you go to his website, you'll notice that there's a link to his blog. And I'm just blown away with what a great video leader Tom is. He's got all of it, not all of his videos, but he's got a tremendous amount of videos. He's got them packaged around selling skills, marketing and lead generation, business planning and inspiration. So make sure that everybody is following up on that and that you're aware of that. By the way, Tom, have you made it back into the call yet?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know what happened there, but I could hear you, then I couldn't hear you, so I apologize. Here we are talking about technology, and there's the advantage of it. So.
No problem. Hey, why don't you, I walked through, I know you've got some new offerings that would be relevant to loan officers. If you could share how everybody in the community can go deeper with you, I'd appreciate it.
Sure. So, first of all, I would say thank you. And, certainly you can connect with me at facebook.com/Coach Tom Ferry. There's about 36,000 agents from all over the world there, and it's a great place for you to, be a part of a community, connect with people that are progressive, people that are relevant, people that are doing the stuff that, all of you are doing. I've got a new app that you'll see on there. It's called Thriving Daily. We just launched it. We've had about 3,500 downloads so far this year, and it's just quietly getting out, no promotion, just sort of word of mouth. So we're excited about that. It shows an agent exactly what they have to do from their thumb to sell 15, 18, 30, 40, 200 homes a year. It's the business plan with their daily tracking and measuring right there on their phone. So that's pretty cool. And then Dave, I mentioned to you that we launched a new training program. So I pride myself on, I don't create a lot of products. I don't create a lot of stuff. When I do, I spend a lot of time, energy, resource. In this case, 25 years, truthfully, rolling up to this point, but 3 years of writing, developing, testing, tweaking, creating the finest of everything we teach. And it's a program called Breakthrough by Design. And we'll run, 15, 18,000 agents through it this year. And I thought what I would do for you guys is, if you want to know what it takes to be a rock star agent today, both on video and audio, scripts, workbooks, everything that an agent would need to add 3 sales in 10 weeks. That's the promise of this program. That I would just say to any one of you, if you have the courage to buy one, I'll give you one for free, right? So you can go through it, then you can give one as a gift to a real estate partner, someone you want to do the training with. And then I thought, Dave, I'm going to do something I've never done before. If you buy 3, which means you would get 6, I'll do a personal shout-out video for you. So I'll say, hi, it's Coach Tom Ferry. I'm totally excited that Dave Savage, and you can then send that to the people of your choice, which is maybe a cool little value add. So I would encourage you, whether it's free, connect with me on Facebook, my YouTube channel, the app, take a look at that. Maybe attend an event, but that breakthrough product is super hot. We're selling, 15, 18 trainings online every single week. And it's a physical kit, it's a box, it's CDs, it's all this great stuff. It's the best of what I do. So Dave, that would be my 3 suggestions.
Well, it makes tons of sense to me. I'm a massive fan of your teaching, your content. Every time I ever see you speak, I'm taking notes. I'm writing down ideas. I'm learning about new apps, new technology, and you also just keep it old school. Yeah, technology is great, but let's remember what are the things that drive that. So I hope everybody, as you were listening to this, you got some why statements. Why should you be a leader with video and mobile? I hope that you got some new ideas, but I hope that you're going to come out of this with some new goals and be intentional about those goals. And if you're going to do things, do it right. So for all you Mortgage Coach members, if you are not delivering each and every home buyer an amazing mortgage experience, if you're not doing it in a way that honors the realtor, so in the video that you create, you're calling out, you're so lucky to be working with Susie Realtor. She's the best in this market. And here's a mortgage strategy based off of the goals that you told me. You wanted to keep your payment down. You wanted to, be in a position that you could move up into a bigger home or a nicer home in 5 years. Here's the mortgage strategy that I'm crafting. And making sure that you're looping in the realtor. So one, you're saving a phone call and some follow-up. You're honoring that realtor by saying, hey, I'm going to make you more efficient. Every referral, there's going to be less phone tag. And every referral, I'm going to be part of your sales experience to improve your conversion ratio. Really common sense stuff. Everybody on this call, you know it, but are you doing it? Each and every time, are you giving every single home buyer the absolute best sales experience? Every time you meet with a realtor, do you sound like every other loan person that's saying, hey, I'll be on time, I return all my calls on time, I keep all my lending promises, I have the best rates. Or are you truly a challenger sales rep mortgage professional that's having that mobile conversation of being a leader? So hey Tom, we've got 8 minutes left in the call. By the way, if anybody wants to raise their hand, I have a few hands raised, although they've been raised the whole time. I'm going to lower everybody's hand, and now if you raise your hands, I know that you're ready to come in, you're mic'd up, your computer works, and you'll be able to ask us a question. We've talked a lot about mobile and technology leadership. We've talked about how to deliver value in the meeting. Any wisdom as I reach out, I'm a loan professional, and I'm trying to get a meeting with a realtor. Any ideas on the do's and don'ts of getting the big meeting?
So here's the deal. It's funny you ask this because I get hired a lot just for this, whether it's recruiting from a company or a lender or a title company. There is no trick. You ready? Call them, send them personal notes, send them messages on Facebook, right? Request a 15-minute coffee meeting. If there's something you have that is sexy, seductive, interesting, time sensitive. Is everybody on the line, Dave, read Bob Cialdini's book, Robert Cialdini, The Influence book?
I don't know, but I'm a big fan of the book myself, read it multiple times, and feel free to plug it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think Bob's work is fantastic, and it's so perfect for everyone here that's trying to figure out what's that one thing I can do. So, look, you're either going to play to their ego, you're going to play to the fact that you've got time-sensitive information, you're going to play to the fact that you have something very value-add, and you want to see if they're the kind of person that could use it. So look at. There's rock stars on the line. These are men and women that have chosen to be a part of an elite status program in Mortgage Coach. You're not going to just get up with a shotgun and start blasting. I think it should be very targeted. I think you should be doing specific videos where you're like, on your iPhone or, on your desktop, and you're like, hi Alice Plato, I was thinking about you. I've been watching your career. I've been looking at the numbers. You had an extraordinary 2013. I'm sure you've got big aspirations for 2014. There's one thing that is going to so massively impact buyers' ability to purchase a home this year, and most people have completely overlooked it. I know you get requests to meet all the time. I'll meet over the phone. I'll meet face-to-face. We can send smoke signals. Give me 15 minutes to make sure that your buyers know exactly what's coming down the pike. Something like that, a video, Dave, you've heard me say this before. Betty Graham, who ran all of Coldwell Banker Previews, 95,000 agents, and ran all of LA County for the longest time for Coldwell Banker. I could not get a meeting with her. She was the big whale. She was on my Dream 50 list. Does everybody on the line, Dave, have a Dream 50 list?
Absolutely.
Okay, so we all have a Dream 50 list. We're all dropping them something once a month. A personal note. We've got them all, every single one of the people on your Dream 50 list. You got a Google search, so anytime their name shows up in Google, you're the first one that reaches out to say congratulations. I was doing all that stuff with Betty, but it wasn't until I sent her a personal video and said, Betty Graham, Tom Ferry, you are the single hardest person on the planet to reach. I've never done this before, and I'll probably never do it again, but I literally got on my knees and said, Betty, meet with me for 15 minutes. She immediately emailed me back and said, if you'll show me how to do those videos, I'll meet with you for an hour. So again, I know I just rattled off a whole bunch of stuff there, but these are smart men and women. They know. It really isn't this, guys. Listen to me. It is not the little trick. It is just saying, that's it. Ready? Here's the trick. Give somebody $1,000 and say, you can take that $1,000 and you can send it to someone I hate. I absolutely despise. You can give them the $1,000 with a love letter from me that you can write if I don't schedule 5 big whale appointments in the next 30 days.
Boom.
That's it. You do that, you're going to win. I don't know if there's anybody from LA, but Ron and James, the Suarez team in Santa Monica, I got them to set 23 buyer and seller appointments in 2 weeks, which is about more than they did in the fourth quarter of last year. They did it in 2 weeks for a $1,000 bet.
I love it. I love it. So get them committed. But hey, guys, write this down, and I hope you'll re-listen to what Tom just said because it was brilliant. Notice that he showed them that he knows them. So real simple, very authentic, very candid. I know you, and I have value in advice. And he goes the extra mile by creating a tailored video, connecting to that person, making a promise. And again, everybody on the Mortgage Coach community, you have it easy to create videos. You can create a mortgage strategy, put a video on it, and send that link to them. We have loan officers that do it all the time. So we're here to support you. I also want everybody, for your homework assignment today, you can put Duncan into the Mortgage Coach app. Tom Ferry has been a speaker at Sales Mastery past few years, and I'm looking forward because I know you'll be there again soon. Just put Duncan into the Mortgage Coach app, and we want to drive that experience today. I want to remind you, every Thursday, we're here at 9 o'clock Pacific to teach you and train you on how to leverage this. So you heard a lot about video and mobile. If you don't know how to download the app, if you don't know how to put different selling strategies in there so that you can pull them up when you're meeting with a client, if you need help with video, we're here to support you. Check it out. Join us this Thursday at 9. If you have not already gone through our commercial online, go to themortgagecoach.com, watch that 2-minute video on what we consider to be the perfect home buyer and a realtor mortgage experience. We are committed to making sure that every time you get a mortgage lead, you can deliver an amazing video on mobile experience that wows your home buyer and wows your realtor. Reminder, this call has been recorded. It will be uploaded into our YouTube community. And Tom, we've got another minute. Want to make sure, any final words or thoughts as we wrap up today's call?
You know, I shared a lot. I would just say I love this whole tailored teach and control. So, you know, if you got questions, reach out to me. Hit me up on Facebook, and, you know, I'd love to chat with you privately. I'm going to be, you know, out of the country for a couple of days with a lot of travel time on airplanes. So, you know, hit me up. Thank God for you know, being mobile in the sky. So if I can help, go to facebook.com/Coach Tom Ferry. Hey, Dave, two of your proud members, I just looked, have already taken advantage of our offer. I just want to remind everybody, and I should say this, really that is like today, tomorrow. It's not forever. You know, no rush. Today, tomorrow, if you want to do it, you get that cool little sexy buy one, get one, or 3 with us. So
love it.
That's it.
So a couple of last thoughts. I will put a link to that on our YouTube page to make sure anybody who's like, where do I go? I'll figure out the link. Or Tom, if you could have someone on your team send it to me, we'll post it on our Facebook page in the comments section of your post. Also, there was questions about the books that we talked about and recommended. I'll make sure those are in the comments section. Hope this was a valuable hour of everybody's time. Tom, and I know it was a valuable hour of my time, and I'm grateful for the time you spent to share and give the gift of knowledge and wisdom in today's call.
Thank you, Dave. Thanks for the opportunity, and thanks to everybody out there that's fighting the good fight. Keep up the great work.
All right. Take care, man. See you later, brother.
Take care.